Several days ago, I had a little sermon titled, When Good People Do Nothing, based on James chapter 4, verse 17. Basically about negligence, that doing nothing to fight evil is sinful in itself. Just letting bad things happen. In other words, being lazy and negligent. But anyways, I wanted to have part number 2 and basically review this. There's a tendency in nature and in society for things to fall apart, decay, rot. Like in nature itself, you have the second law of thermodynamics. It's also called the law of increasing entropy. Things fall apart. They turn inward on themselves and burn out and dissolve. The disorder increases as time goes on, and the universe becomes flatter and cooler. But in human society and government, there's an added component. You have human selfishness and evil. Evil people try to weasel their ways into society and dominate. There's this constant tendency, and we have to be watchful and vigilant to keep it in check. The Founding Fathers are well aware of this. They tailored the federal Constitution to put a limit on the federal government. They designed it with 3 branches, so one branch could watch over the other 2, and vice versa, etc. They knew that government was like a wild animal that had to be kept down and kept in check. Otherwise it would dominate. The more government there is, the more welfare there is, the more taxes, the less freedom there is. We all know that by common sense and experience. But anyways, there's that constant tendency for what is bad to try to take over and dominate and cause ruin. We have to be watchful and keep that in check. Not just say, oh, I'm just going to wait till Jesus comes and then bury our heads in the sand. God does not want us to do that. But anyways, I wanted to mention something that we can do. In Manhattan, on September of 2009, a number of Anglican ministers and thinkers, along with Catholic ministers and thinkers and leaders, and evangelical thinkers and leaders got together, and they drafted this document called the Manhattan Declaration. It's about 5,000 words in length, I believe, and it's been signed by roughly 200,000 people now. It's a very good document, and you should go to manhattandeclaration.org, check it out, read it, and sign it. It's got 3 basic points in it. 1, the sanctity of human life. Long before an unborn child is born, even when they're like, say, a ½ inch long, they have a clear-cut human body and they're alive. They're a human being. They're a living human being, hence a person. The second point is the dignity of marriage. True spousal marriage is the outworking of the male and female parts and principles and pairings in nature, as I said many times before. And 3, you have the rights of conscience and religious liberty. We have to stand up for what is right and assert our freedom of speech and expression. We have to do that, and even support legal groups that help us. But anyways, check the Manhattan Declaration out. manhattandeclaration.org. Seems excellent. And also support the American Center for Law and Justice, the Alliance Defense Fund, Thomas More Law Center, and a number of other groups. And stand up for what is right. Don't be lazy. But anyways, thank you for listening to this short little sermonette, or whatever you want to call it. I basically winged it, of course. So forgive me if it sounds a little rough in certain ways. Thank you, and God bless.